Evelyn to Philip, October 22nd, 1942, 8:30 p.m. Phil, dearest, I sent off the package today, but I couldn't insure it. I took it to the substation post office at the drugstore, and it was too late to have it insured. Since I wanted it to reach you before the weekend, I sent it without insurance, and now I've got my fingers crossed, hoping it goes through. It contains the following: a carton of Tareyton cigarettes and a package of red, white, and blue stationery, which were given by Ruthie, some of Mom's homemade apple pie, a tube of St. 37, your wings pin, your dog tags, an army towel, 2 undershirts, a jockey, 10 hankies, 3 pairs of socks, and a military brush, which I had. I'm sorry, sweet, but the kitchen sink wouldn't fit. The carton was donated by Mrs. Fromer, who told me to send this message. Tell him I love him and I want to kiss him. Well, dear, what do you think of that? Let me know as soon as possible whether you received the package. I don't have a shoe brush, so buy one if you need it. I received your October 20th letter, so you don't think you'll be there more than 8 weeks. Something tells me you're going to see a lot of this country, and I only hope it's not another country. I want you to promise me something, Phil. When the time arrives for me to give birth, it may happen very quickly, and if you are far away, it may be all over before you can reach my side. If that is the case, I don't want you to come home until I leave the hospital, so we can spend some time together with the baby at home. Lil tells me that age 2. I will be in bed until 2 or 3 days before I leave the hospital. I don't want you to spend that precious time sitting about the hospital. Will you promise me not to come in until I write to you if such is the case? I love you, precious, and I want more than anything on this earth for you to be with me through it all, and then some after. But if that cannot be, then I would prefer to have you to myself at home after I leave the hospital. I didn't feel very well this morning, so after cleaning our lovely bedroom, I sat in the sunshine for a while. Both Lil and the doc told me to get a lot of sunshine and vitamin D in order to have enough calcium. I take the vitamin B capsules regularly. The household work is still a problem. I do quite a bit each week. It's practically impossible to get a girl. In 2 weeks, I'm going to call an agency and get a girl for 2 days. Then I shall see to it that the house is properly cleaned, and then I shall relax until I am again able to tend to the various duties myself. The weight of the baby becomes heavier with each passing day, and consequently it is more difficult to make myself comfortable. I want someone to lean on, and since no one can really understand, I am constantly miserable, even though I have resigned myself to the idea of not seeing you for some time. The urge to see you and be near you every time I do not feel well gets stronger and stronger. It's a bit after 9 now, sweetheart, and I am trying to snuggle close to you. Move over, will you? Kiss me, sweet, and never stop. Both moms are fine, but my dad is still very weak. Page 3. He can hardly stand on his feet, and the pain is still there. It will be a long time before he is altogether well. Our penny box still continues to mount. It stands at $4.60 at the moment. I spent $2 today and sent a money order and the coupons for the waffle iron. I'm also sending a letter to Milton. In case you want to write to him, his address is Company G, 167th Infantry, APC, 31, Camp Shelby, Mississippi. I bought 2 more balls of white thread. Mrs. Fromer paid 25 cents for one, and I only pay 19 cents at the cut rate store. Each ball has 500 yards and will make many circles. Jack N. is so busy he doesn't have time to live. He wants to write but doesn't, as I said before, have the time to write. He may not be with us long, as he is serious about this idea of getting an apartment for his mother here in Philly. It's the only thing he can do unless Lenny plans something else. Mrs. Greitzer called this evening. She heard about you and wanted the dirty news firsthand. Morton was sent to England and is now back in the United States. Why? He was lucky enough to make officers' training school and will be stationed in Virginia. Talk about luck. Imagine going to England and then returning to the U.S. so soon. Tanta Bosch received your card and called to tell us about it. She received a letter from Sid. He says they have received many supplies and he thinks they will be moving shortly. Eddie Strongen is on maneuvers. Eddie Zielinski called this evening. He's in till Saturday morning and may stop up with Lil before returning to camp. Do you know what happened last night? I was dreaming about something very vague when suddenly I heard a bang. I thought I was dreaming, but as I turned on my side, I instinctively opened my eyes. Mom wasn't there. She had, page 4, rolled clean off the bed to the floor. I thought she was hurt. She didn't say anything, but climbed back into bed. 5 seconds later, she burst out laughing, and so did I. However, she did bruise her arm on the night table. I told her I was going to get to put the chair against the side of the bed if she continued to do that. She tries, even in her sleep, not to roll on my side, as she has a tendency to do so. Mickey and her girlfriend and Bea just walked in. Mickey is going to accept that new job. Furthermore, she says she's going on the stage and then off to Hollywood. 3 question marks. She's only kidding, I hope. Who knows? Everyone is fine and sends love and regards. Mickey just told me that Benny sent out 23 letters in one day. The guy must be a whiz. He's gained 3 pounds and has done nothing but drill so far. Good night, my dear Daddy-to-be, and may all your dreams come true. Forever your Evie. P.S. Mom just told me that Mickey Brown passed his Army exam and is leaving November 2nd. Miriam is looking for work. What a world. I love you, Angel. P.P.S. The enclosed letter arrived today. Tend to it, will you? Evie. Ev to Phil, October 23rd, 1942, 12:45 p.m. Precious husband, I received your Wednesday, October 21st letter in the first mail today. Usually I don't get your mail until about 3 p.m. I think if you mail your letter before 7 p.m., I'd get it in the first mail. But that's not important. Just so I get some word from you, sweet. I'm glad you've taken care of the sharpened dome matter. Every dollar counts double now. Remember, dear, it takes 2 days for your mail to reach me. Therefore, I could not mail my first letter until Wednesday afternoon when I first received your address. I'm sorry you were so let down. I wouldn't let that happen for the world. So buck up, darling, because you will probably receive a few before you read this. The weather conditions in Ohio and Pennsylvania must be the same, for when you write of rain, we have rain. When you write of sunshine, we have sunshine. Sweetheart, your feelings amaze me. It's true then. We do feel exactly the same things. When you write of your feelings, you might as well be writing for me. I too concentrate on what I'm doing all day long, but when 5:15 rolls around, I miss your good evening kiss, your plate placed by my side at the dinner table, and before I know it, that hunger and emptiness has crept into my chest. It's so unbearable that I, too, must find refuge in sleep. But sleep does not come to me as easily as it does to you. I must lie on my back in order to feel comfortable while sleeping, but I cannot fall asleep in that position. I have a tendency to awake many times during the night. Then in the morning I do not feel completely rested. However, I feel closer to you when I am lying in bed. Your face comes to me so clearly. Phil, what type of bed do you sleep in? Is it the same as at Middletown? Mom and I worked hard all morning. The place is spick and span. It always looks so pretty on Fridays after it has been thoroughly cleaned. It too misses you. Page 2. Every time I look at a piece of furniture, a memory of how we enjoyed it together creeps into my head, and I'm lost once more. Today is Friday, sweet. Good old Friday, when we used to look forward to a weekend together. Now it is just emptiness, another 24 hours to live through. But the hope that it is bringing you closer to me keeps me going. Do you realize, darling, that this is the first time in over 3 years that we are being separated for more than 2 weeks? The thought kills me. Even when we were together, I wanted to be closer. I hardly see Jack N anymore. I wake him in the morning, talk to him for a minute, and off he dashes. The family hasn't seen hide nor hair of him for the past 2 weeks. Ann and Sam moved into their new apartment, which is costing them $6.45 per week for everything. Lenny is going to stay with them, according to a card Jack received this morning. And his mother will come to Philly within the next few weeks. So it looks like Jack will be leaving us very shortly. I'm wondering how Mom intends to manage. She receives $20 from Jack and Gloria, $12 from Harry, and $10 from Jack. However, $32 isn't bad either. I can't even think of paying board for a long while yet. Lil has warned me that it's going to take money and lots of it to see me through. I also intend to give Mom some of the money we owe her for the following reason. My mom has asked her to lend her the reserve money she now has, and together with what she has on hand now, my mom intends to reduce the mortgage on the house in order to save paying a high rate of interest. She will pay your mom a certain rate of interest for doing the favor. When my dad gets on his feet and starts working, my mom will have a fairly good income. Seymour is making out swell, having yet another raise, and will be able to return Mom's money or the $250 she owes us whenever we need it. Your mom told my mom that she would like to have at least $20 or $30 to fall back on, and would she wait until she had it. Therefore, I intend to give her something on account of our debt of $117 after I finish paying for the hospital, the doctor, and the necessaries of the baby, which also means that I will not be able to pay board, page 3, until at least the first of the new year. If Jack and Harry stay till then, she'll be able to manage. If not, then forget everything I said. I am working for Miss Hahn again this Tuesday, and believe me, those extra few dollars come in mighty handy. She still owes me for addressing those envelopes, plus what I will make Tuesday. I may address the remaining $450 for her. I never thought addressing envelopes or postals was hard work, but boy oh boy, I was dead when I got through that pack of 550 postals. I tried for speed though, and it really didn't take me long. It is very tiresome, no matter how slow you do it, so I think I would rather go into work for her. There I do as I please, and I'm not tired when I leave. She has been very nice to me, and I finally learned how to manage her. I give her answer for answer, and she takes it because she'd have to go through hell and high water to get another worker like me. My Uncle Morris just bought another house, and my mother discovered that my bitchy bubby, pardon the French, closed out 2 bank accounts amounting to over $1,000 and gave it to him without a note or anything. No wonder he can afford to buy 3 houses in a row. The curse words so-and-so. She ought to have her head examined. My mom got her to sign a letter which my Uncle Maxwell sent, which really aids all the children. I wonder. I read every one of your letters to my folks and Mrs. Fromer. They are always raving about how lovely you write, and how, if you were here, they would hug and kiss you for such beautiful letters. I'm saving every one, and someday I'm going to make a booklet out of them. It is cloudy and muggy today. It drizzled a bit too. We still haven't had heat in the house. I called the gas company at the beginning of the week, and they sent a man to turn it on. After attempting to light it, he said we would have to get a plumber to let the water out of the pipes before he could start it. My mom and dad attended to that detail, and I have to call them again today. The weather has been fairly good so far, and the need of heat was not urgent. November 1st, we will have paid the gas company $60. Since we have not had any heat, we simply owe them for a small gas bill accumulated throughout September and October. This money will come in very handy later in the winter. Page 4, 7:20 p.m. I hope that you found what I typed interesting. I really do it to make my letters longer. I showered and dressed, green print with buttons down the front. I feel pretty good, but it's oh so quiet, and I'm so hungry for you. I think I would actually take a bite of you if you were here now. And you would be very tasty, too. Today is a month you're in the Army, and it seems like 10 years. I love you above all, my Lord, ? And Master, ? Your mistress, ? Evie. P.S. Love and regards from all, even Adele, 5 ? P.P.S. I'll write another long letter covering Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Philip to Evelyn, Thursday, October 22nd, 6 p.m. Darling wife Evie, no mail today and I'm in the dumps. I can't understand it. As nearly as I can figure, I should have missed getting a letter only one day, but maybe I'm wrong. However, if I don't get mail tomorrow, I'm calling Philly on the phone. I can stand just so much suspense, and then I get as nervous as a cat. I've just about reached my limit, baby. I know you're writing, so there must be a hitch someplace. Today was gray and blustery in the morning, but we only drilled, I just received your 16-pager. I don't think I have to tell you how happy I was to get it. You know. Ben's letter was really something. Best of all, your letter told me what I wanted to hear most of all, namely that your pregnancy is all okay. I don't suppose you got my letter about the name for the, quote, newcomer, unquote, but you should have. If I'm not mistaken, I mailed it on Tuesday. You'll probably get it today. Another thing I can't understand is the fact, page 2, that although your letter is dated the 18th, it's postmarked the 21st. Oh well, I don't care. I got it. That's the important thing. It was sweet of you, Angel, to go to so much trouble to see that your hubby got a long letter. I wish I could reciprocate, but as yet there's very little I could write, unless I filled the pages with endearments, which to my mind would be superfluous, because I can say what I feel for you in 3 very big words: I love you, which, when you consider it, includes all the pretty words and phrases you could dig out of the dictionary. What is more, you know exactly what my loving you means. I've been kept pretty busy now for, is it 3 years or 30, demonstrating to the best of my ability what my love for you and yours for me means to me. But knowing a little about women in general, and you, my Chippy, in particular, I know full well that you are not content with the first few thousand, quote, I love yous, end quote. You will feel let down if I don't remind you of it with every letter, and I wouldn't let you down for the world, my baby. I still think you're the sweetest, kindest, most considerate, most exciting, most tantalizing, most desirable, and loveliest girl in the world. for me, to me, and I wish I could say by me. I was going to tell you the program today, but it's very dull, and I want to get this mail tonight. I'll be with you at 9 o'clock as usual, baby. Love to all from your Phil. Postcard from the Browns to Phil. October 23rd. Dear Phil, we received your postcard and was glad to hear from you. We are glad to hear you are feeling fine and like the Air Corps. Milton is in Tennessee. We received a letter from Sydney. He is in Egypt. He wrote that before he was in Egypt, he was in Syria. That's all now until we hear from you, the Browns.